Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're taking a look at the slightly cheaper version of this. This is the Tineco A11 Hero, and today we'll find out if it's true if not all heroes wear capes. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we're taking a look at Tineco's Hero A11, which is a slightly downgraded version of this particular model, which is the S11 Pure 1. This is actually a fantastic vacuum, and this is actually my daily driver for doing the whole house at the moment. It does have some extra smart features which the A11 Hero doesn't have, but when it comes to the actual build quality, the functionality, the actual dustbin, filtration, and the power, which is probably the most important bit, it is pretty much exactly the same thing. So we're going to go through today, do an unboxing, give it a couple of practical tests around the house, and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Now, to be honest with you, if it is as good as I hope it's going to be, which if it's essentially the same kind of internals as this model, this thing is going to be absolutely great. And at the moment in the UK, you can pick them up for under £200 with certain offers on. Tineco are one of those strange companies where they have kind of price offers on all the time. Now hopefully we will be speaking to Tineco before this video actually releases, so there may well be a discount code in the video description below and some direct links which will be affiliated ones to Amazon, which you can check out in your local regions. But if you're not going to click on it right now, you're just checking out the review to think, well, is this something I may look forward to in the future, then definitely check out the links and you'll find the latest pricing, and potentially there could be voucher codes. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get on and do the unboxing. Okay, so let's start off with the unboxing. Now luckily I've got the overhead camera going so you can see exactly what's going on here. When it comes to packaging, actually pretty decent packaging, very similar to most of the Tineco range. You will find actually there are some various different versions of this available. So the A11 Hero comes in various different guises. There's various options such as the Master, etc, which come with different features. This is what I would really refer to as the base model, although it is far from a standard vacuum. It really is a pretty good vacuum. This one comes with a slightly different wall cradle as well. There was a previous version of the same one, the A11 Hero, which if you're searching for online you may find it. So that had actually like a floor or desk based version which you could actually put all your bits and pieces on. This particular one has actually got a wall mounted charger and docking station, so you can put all your bits onto the wall, but obviously you'll see that as we go through the unboxing. On the back of the box it goes through some of the features. So as you can see, it's the A11 Hero, powerful cordless cleaning with 20% more suction, 60% longer runtime, and 1.5 times larger capacity as compared with the A10. And some of the smart features we've got of this, so we've got 120 watt ultra powerful suction. This is from a 450 watt digital motor. There's LED headlights, which are absolutely brilliant. I love those. Lightweight as well, high torque brush that grabs pet hair, converts to a handheld vacuum, up to 40 minutes runtime depending on your usage. One touch empty dustbin, ultra quiet, trigger or continuous power mode, and also a 4-stage HEPA filtration which removes up to 99.97% of allergens and small pieces as small as 0.3 microns. Also shows you the included accessories, so you can see that, but we'll go through that on the unboxing. Now actually I should mention straight away as well, this was sent to us free of charge for review purposes from Tineco themselves, so we haven't been paid or told to say anything. They've literally just said, we'll send you the vacuum, see what you think of it, and make a video. So that's exactly what we're doing. So taking a look at what we get inside, so again, actually really nice packaging, which is relatively easy to get into as well. We find with some of these vacuums, they come in some elaborate packaging, which is actually quite difficult to get into. Anyway, so let's take a look and see what we actually get. So starting off, we get the welcome pamphlet, and also in there is a hair remover tool, and a brush for cleaning the filters, etc. A couple of screws in there also, and some raw plugs for mounting onto a wall, and also your instruction guide. Next up, we get the first of the main pieces. So this is the wand, the main wand section, absolutely brilliant, made of metal, but also very lightweight, and has got the traditional kind of Tineco fittings on there. Most of the fittings on this are actually transferable as well. I've actually tried this already on the other vacuum, the S series, the Pure 1, and these do appear to be interchangeable. So if maybe you've got one or two of these vacuums and you want to keep maybe one upstairs, one downstairs, and have some accessories upstairs, some accessories downstairs, they are interchangeable. With the Tineco extension wand, actually, because of the way that this is made, the shape of it, it's designed in such a way that it is kind of circular, but also because you've got the extra section here, which was where the power runs down through, actually it's extremely strong. And I'm trying really hard to bend it and it won't. So obviously the plastic ends are going to be slightly weaker, but the main body, yeah, very, very solid indeed. Next up, there is going to be the filter holder. So this is actually a really ingenious part. With the device itself, there is obviously those levels of filtration, as we said before, and in the base of the vacuum there is a removable microfiber filter, such as this one, and you get two of them. So one's actually in the vac itself, one of them is in this holder, and when these get dirty, as they do after even just a day or so's use, put it in here, close that down, attach this to your vacuum, put it on maximum, and basically just twist the outside edge, and there's bristles in there which will actually clean the microfiber on there. So when that's done, you can then pop it out, stick it in your vacuum, and you've got a fresh filter ready to go for the next day's cleaning. I really do like that feature, works very, very well. Next up we have a crevice tool. Again, all of these using the same Tineco quick release section there, so yeah, nice and easy to do, works very well. Maybe a little bit longer might have been better for getting some of those hard to reach areas, being that this section is actually quite thick, so a bit longer would have been nice, but certainly for most tasks, cleaning in a car, cleaning down the back of sofa, in between seat cushions, that kind of stuff, absolutely fine. Getting down behind things like your refrigerator and in between your tumble dryers and all that kind of stuff, where dust really does accumulate, that is going to be absolutely great. Next one is our combo brush. So this is your kind of soft furnishings one, or you can use that for dusting, slightly more delicate things which you can do, and that actually comes off as well, so you can take it off, and then you've got like a scoop section on there, so again for wider areas, absolutely brilliant. Again, all works on the same Tineco quick release system, so that's all well and good. What else have we got in here? So there is the charging brick itself, so that has got a UK plug on it, and the cable length on there is like 2.5 meters, so it will need to be relatively close by to a power socket for plugging in, and the other end is a two-prong section which plugs into the back of the cradle itself, which we'll show you in more detail a little bit later on. This section here, double-sided, so this is for putting your attachments on. This slots into the wall hanging bracket, and you can put on your attachments such as those, just to keep things nice and all in one place. Again, you'll see some cutaway of this in use later on, and also show how it all goes together. The next part is the small head cleaning brush. So this is for doing things like stairs, maybe furniture, smaller areas that are a little bit more difficult for the wide head to get into. Again, all on that same quick release system. So this is adjustable on this section here, so you can adjust those bits. There's also the brush roller inside there. The brush roller actually, it's got very fine bristles, so if you've got something like, say, a long fur carpet, so one of those really shaggy pile carpets, works very, very well on there. It doesn't get stuck, doesn't get sort of jammed up. Obviously, if it's extremely long, then yes, it might do, but again, we'll see that in action a little bit later. Again, fully motorized head and adjustable. These I really do like using on the stairs. Makes stair carpet vacuuming very, very easy to do, and especially if you've got cats where they kind of cat hairs up and down the stairs. Anyway, yes, very, very good, very easy to use. This section here is the main base station, or cradle, however you want to look at it. So on the bottom there is another one of those quick release type doodads, so you can attach your vacuum attachments onto there, no problems. You've got the charging poles there for the vacuum itself, Tineco logo on the top. You can open this on the top and there is an additional charging area, so if you want to use a second battery you can put that in the top and it will charge both at the same time. There is cable management, and also you've got the holes there for drilling into your walls or whatever. That bit on the side there is where our attachment slides onto, so I'll show you that now. So that slides on and locks firmly into place. So again, you can have your attachments all ready to hand. Yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use. And actually the plastic is a really nice high quality plastic, very easy to keep clean, and doesn't seem to mark very much either. Next is the main head. So this is the everyday use one. So this is a multi-function. Got all the adjustments on there. You've got the wheels on there, rubber wheels, which help things to maneuver. The one thing I did find with this, and I actually didn't mention it in the previous video, or at least I don't think I did, is actually how easy to maneuver this particular vacuum is. I've used many cordless vacuums over the years, and Dysons primarily, now more so Tineco. I do find this to be considerably more stable, and Kath is nodding her head in agreement there behind the camera. It is extremely stable to use. I do find now, actually, if I do use the Dyson for any reason, just because it's to hand or whatever, if I'm doing upright cleaning, the actual head, because it's so much lighter and I guess it's smaller as well, it just doesn't feel as agile. Whereas if you've never used one of these before with this type of head, with the Tineco system, it really will change the way you vacuum. It gives you a lot more confidence, so you can really go into areas that possibly you wouldn't do before. And another reason why you'll do that is because on the front you've got these LED headlights. So there's LED headlights on the front which light up the surface area. Now this is really good because you don't have to turn the lights on when you go into a room. If it's vacuuming and you're later on in the seasons and it's a little bit darker in the house, it doesn't matter because you've got illumination on the front there. But also what it does show you is the items that you need to vacuum. So if you're doing a larger expanse, say for instance you've got a laminate floor across a very large bedroom, and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go up and down, up and down, up and down across the whole lot. As you're scanning around, the headlights actually pick up any dust, hair, any debris which is actually on the surface and highlights it for you. So not only does it help by actually helping you see where you're going, it also highlights those dusty areas so you can pick up fragments a little bit easier. So that is particularly good, I like that a lot. The brush head, again, another thing they do much better than Dyson is these brush heads are actually all very soft. So you've got a very, very soft bristle there, which is almost microfiber to the touch. Then you've got a slightly thicker one, which is a little bit more coarse, but because of the fact it isn't as long, it doesn't get stuck in those larger carpets. Now I use this pretty much every single day on our rug in the front room, which has got really long pile to it. Literally the pile is probably about that long. It's a real shaggy rug and it has never ever got caught on it once. Never ever has that happened. The Dyson, quite often you'd be vacuuming it and all of a sudden it would jam up and the head would jam and you'd have to untangle it and then restart it, etc. That has never ever happened with one of these, so that is a particularly good thing. Also as well, pretty easy to take apart and clean, so there's a little locking mechanism there. You just undo that, push the sidebar out, you can take all this out to clean it, wash it, whatever you want to. You can also clean the inside as well. So some people, if you're in a slightly more mucky house, which yeah, unfortunately we are, we've got 2 kids, 3 cats and a lot of unboxing being done. So things do get pretty mucky in here and we do find that the transparent sections do get a little bit murky. Easy to do, just pull out the roller bar and give it a wipe down and it looks pretty much like brand new. Again, really all I can say about this is just the fact that it is an extremely high quality device, and you probably don't get that coming across from the camera, but even things like the flexible hose in there which links everything up, it's just very, very well made. There's no sort of cheap alternatives used. It's all high quality, very good plastic. So yeah, very, very strong and robust. And Lord knows, I've smashed the head of this into so many things, just ramming the vacuum along. Most of us don't have the time or the kind of energy or even the inclination to be careful about our vacuuming. It's just one of those chores where you do want to get it done, get on with your life. And with this, you can just smash it around, bang it around, and it's absolutely fine. You've got a slightly rubberized front section there, like a bumper bar, so you're not going to damage your surfaces, which is a blessing in this household. Okay, so let's get down to the real bones of this one. So this is the actual unit itself, the main unit. And actually, I think this one kind of actually looks nicer than the S11. I think they've used a lot more of the clear plastics than what they have the blue plastics. I probably need to get them side by side actually to confirm that one. So yeah, I would say between the two, if I take the nozzle off the front, so in terms of design wise, there's very, very little between them. You've got the extra plate on the top, obviously the digital LED display for this one and the power meter, whereas this one doesn't need it, so don't have it there. You've got the eye loop sensor on this one, so you're slightly darker blue on there, obviously where that is completely clear, which actually in some reasons is better because you can see dirt in there, although if you are in a particularly dirty house, then this bit there is actually probably a bit of a godsend because it covers up some of that dirt, but that is the eye loop sensor, so that does need to be completely black or kind of darkened out so the light can actually measure the dust particles, whereas this unit doesn't actually do that. But other than that, there's a very similar design. The actual collection bucket is, again, almost identical. I can't really see a great deal of difference in there. The handle design itself, again, extremely similar, and the filters themselves, the removable filters on the back, that is a slightly different color, so it's a paler color, but these are actually interchangeable, although I've put the same one back in again. So yeah, the battery comes off very easily. Just unplug that, click it in. First time you get it, charge it for about 3 hours, let it charge fully for the first time. If you've got 2 batteries and you've bought the 2 battery model, then if you're not using the second battery, which to be honest with you, you probably won't, I can quite easily do the whole house with a single battery and still be kind of either on 2 bars or 1 bar left. So if you have got the second battery, I would strongly suggest for maximum length of the battery, let it charge to about 60% or so, kind of 2 bars, and then just disconnect it from the charger and then just put it somewhere safe for when you actually do need it. That will give you much longer battery life of the cells on this. Otherwise you just keep on charging it to 100% and and not actually using it, it's not going to do the battery much good. So there you go, there's a top tip for that one. So yeah, battery wise, you can buy replacements as well. They sell them on Tineco site and from Amazon, etc. So you can go ahead and pick up some of those from there if you wanted to. And I've just got confused now, completely confused. I just got another battery there and I was thinking, well, hang on, there's 2 batteries. Maybe they all come with 2 batteries. I thought it was only one model that came with 2 batteries, but it appears they do give you 2 batteries. Excellent news. So yeah, we like that. I don't know why you would need 2 batteries, to be completely honest with you, but the fact that they give it to you, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, HEPA filter on the back. So this you would normally wash out every kind of 3 months or so. And I think they say replace it once a year. Whether or not you would want to do that, I don't know. That is entirely down to the individual. We've been using ours for probably a few months now. I'm not sure exactly how long, but I've never washed ours yet. Literally just carry on using it as I would normally. The only thing I do on a regular basis is the filter on the bottom. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the other features. So we've got the removable micro filter on the bottom. So there is your microfiber filter, nice and easy to remove. And there is a little tag on there, so let's remove that off of there. To actually open the bin, very, very simple, very easy to do. Literally all you do is press the button on the top there, and in theory it should open. I think it's because it's brand new and it's, oh no, there was a bit of sticker left on there, so user error on that one, unfortunately. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, it releases. It's new plastic, so it's a little bit wanting to stick on there. There we go. Yeah, a couple of times and it works. First time, every time. Now you will need to occasionally remove this section as well. So this is the main filter section. So you've got various filtration levels on here. So the first one is obviously the cyclone filter, which is kind of separates the dust and sends the bigger stuff to the outside edge. The rest of it actually will be filtered through this mesh. And then after it goes through the mesh, when you've got your microfiber in there, obviously that collects a lot of dust in there as well also. And then the exhausted gas, or exhausted air rather, comes out the back here and then passes through the HEPA filter. So this is kind of like the final stage filtration, and that gets rid of the real tiny particles. And actually, since using it, I've not noticed really too many allergies over the summer. Obviously you get dust in the house and you get particles and you get pollen, etc. It does seem to keep on top of it. Yeah, we haven't suffered from allergies much this year at all, to be completely honest with you. Moving back to the unit itself, so again, all of this you can actually take apart as well. So take the battery off. So battery comes off, and this section here actually comes off as well. So if you press the down button on here, then you can release this section. So if you wanted to, because there's actually no real kind of areas that you can't get to that easily, you could quite easily spritz this with a little bit of water if you wanted to, just to keep it nice and clean. And I've got to be honest with you, it does look absolutely stunning in this really, really clear plastic. It'd be interesting to see actually how long it stays completely crystal clear for. The plastic, it would appear that it looks like kind of quite a cheap type plastic, but actually it feels pretty robust. So yeah, that's all well and good, like that. So yeah, that just all locks into position. When it comes to the actual trigger itself, so you've got a dual action trigger. You can use the trigger in normal mode, so just press it and it will come on. There's like a slow start mechanism to it. If you don't really want to do that, you can use the little button on the side there, or the lever, so that just holds the button in. So depending on what you're doing, you may find that easier. Some people, if you're slightly less dexterous, then you may want to just flick that on just so you don't have to keep that pressure on the trigger finger, but the choice is entirely up to you. So yeah, overall I think it's actually a really nice unit. I don't think there's anything that I've really failed to cover or mention there. I think that is pretty much it. Just put this back in. So again, this bit, the fact that that whole thing unscrews and comes out is really good. That is something that Dyson don't do. So if you get any sort of debris up around this top section or in here, or anything which is basically stuck in there, is actually really difficult to get to. But anyway, there we go. So that is the unit unboxed. Have a good look at it, and I'll give you some B-roll so you can check it all out. Again, everything does come with a 2-year warranty, so should anything get damaged or broken under the normal kind of use, then you're totally covered there. One thing actually I didn't mention, which is something which I don't often use, I'll be honest with you, apart from when I'm trying to catch flies in the house, which this does a fantastic job of. I'll say that straight away. If you suffer from flies in your house, they're really difficult to catch without using sort of harsh chemicals, which most of us don't want to use. This actually is brilliant for catching flies, which I might show you some B-roll of. But anyway, I digress. So when you're using the vacuum, there is a max button on the top there, so you can press that in and then it puts it into maximum mode. So you've got your normal on mode, but if you just need a little bit more power, then you can press the max button and it will take it up to the top levels. Although, again, unless I'm catching flies or there's some particularly kind of really stuck on debris, something which is maybe kind of a bit greasy, sticky or whatever, then I very rarely have to use it on the other one. I don't see why that would change here, because this has the same 450 watt digital motor as the S11. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the unboxing. So I'm going to get this thing charged up, give it a few hours on charge before I use the batteries. I'm not going to use the battery from my other one, just in case there is any differences in run times, etc. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and charge this, and we'll come back and do some tests a little bit later on. Okay, so we're back and we've done some testing, as you'll probably be seeing from some of the B-roll we've shot, and this does live up to the name. It is literally a hero. I actually really do love using these Tineco vacuums. I'm not just saying that because they send them to us free of charge to review. They are genuinely excellent, and I'm quite a sad person when it comes to it. I actually enjoy vacuuming, and these make the whole experience that much more enjoyable. As you'll probably see from the B-roll, we've tested things such as rice grains on a solid floor, also large salt crystals, that kind of stuff. It handles it absolutely brilliantly. I think it's down mostly to the design of the head, where you've got those soft bristles and also the slightly shorter, more coarse bristles, so you don't end up flicking the stuff all around the floor. So it does a really good job. And I think on the rice, we actually did it pretty much in one pass. I didn't have to go over it numerous times, even though I did anyway, because like I said, I enjoy vacuuming. But yeah, it's done a really good job. The stair attachment does really well on the stairs, makes life a lot easier. And actually, if you're using the stair attachment, you can actually use that on those long shaggy pile rugs as well, as you can, again, you'll probably see from some of the footage we've already shot. Works very well, doesn't get jammed up. Neither does the head. The head actually transfers from a solid floor into a carpeted floor, over obstacles, and again onto that shag pile rug. Extremely easy, and you can hear the motor. It is straining a little bit because obviously there's resistance on it, but it just powers on through, doesn't phase it at all. And still, the battery life actually is pretty decent. I wouldn't say the battery life is as good as the Pure series, where it's got that digital control, so it ramps up and ramps down according to the needs. We have been kind of playing with this today a little bit and doing a little bit more than what we would normally. Putting it onto turbo mode, which to be honest with you I very rarely use, but just to demonstrate how it works. And we've even gone around, at the moment we've got some weird weather where it's suddenly gone a little bit warmer here in the UK, and we've got a bizarre amount of flies in the house, so I've been actually using this to humanely trap flies, using the suction and then emptying them out of the dustbin after and letting them fly off into the garden. And this all worked extremely well. I've got no qualms with it whatsoever. When it comes down to the battery life, I would say, again, not quite as good as what you'd expect from the higher end models. Still has a decent runtime. They do quote up to 40 minutes in the kind of low powered mode, which actually, if you are going over kind of very light stuff, maybe hard floors, then yes. When it's using a little bit of extra power to get over those things such as the rugs and longer pile carpets, then that is going to affect your battery life somewhat anyway. Luckily, like I said, they do include two batteries, which did surprise me. I was only expecting one, so you do get two batteries, so you can have one on charge whilst you're using it, etc, etc. And talking of the charging dock, that all works very well. I've got it mounted on the wall here in the Mike's Unboxing studio, or dining room as it's otherwise known, and it fits in very nicely. One thing again I do like about Tineco in their design strategy is we don't have loads of those bright garish colours. So if you are maybe putting this somewhere, maybe in a hallway, maybe in a room, kitchen, whatever, and you don't want it to stick out like a sore thumb, it's great. Even though it is a design piece in itself, it isn't one of those things where you immediately walk into a room and it catches your eye, like with these crazy colours like we see with the Dysons. So if you want something which is going to do the job, fit in, blend into your surroundings, and be a particularly good vacuum, then I think Tineco is the way forward. So like I said, there will be links for this in the video description if you want to check out the prices in your local region, but totally for me, yeah, the A11 Hero certainly is the hero that we all deserve. So I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.